Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of The Entire History, where in our previous episode we discussed the entire history of Rexy the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park. After the incredible success of that video, and I do mean incredible success, it's obvious that I will in fact continue this as a series. The most requested episode after Rexy was Blue, and that's who we'll be discussing for today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, as this is the best place to be if you're a Jurassic fan and or you want to learn more about the Jurassic franchise. Today's like goal is 2,500 likes, which is a tough one, but with that introduction out of the way, here is the entire history of Jurassic World's Velociraptor, Blue. Blue's story begins in the year of 2012. Whilst we don't exactly know when she was hatched, she was claimed to have been around 6 years old on May 15th, 2018, putting her birth date no earlier than May 15th, 2012. However, we can confirm that she was born sometime in the year of 2012. Blue was created as part of the first pack of velociraptors for the Ibris project, and had black-throated monitor lizard DNA spliced within her genome. This project was to understand and learn the intelligence of velociraptors, ever since Dr. Wu first noticed an advanced intelligence within the velociraptors back in the year of 1992. Blue was part of the first batch, where unfortunately the other 3 raptors died and she was left on her own. She was later moved in with the second batch, which included her newfound sisters of what we know as the Raptor Squad. This included Blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Blue was known as the abnormally largest juvenile velociraptor, and later fought with Echo for a battle of dominance over the pack. Blue ended up winning her battle and remaining as the beta of the pack, because as we know, she is the beta, Owen is the alpha.
This one's called Blue. She's the beta.
Who's the alpha?
You're looking at him, kid.
After the years from 2012 through to 2015, not much is known about her existence and what she got up to during these years, but it is safe to assume that her and her sisters got transported to the raptor paddock that we then see in Jurassic World. Moving on to 2015, her next on-screen appearance in the timeline was in Camp Cretaceous Season 1, where in late December we saw the campers of Kenji, Brooklyn, and Darius make their way over to the raptor paddock. During these events, Kenji and Darius are trapped in the cage with the raptor pack, where Roxy and Dave soon come to the rescue to save them. However, not before Blue comes within inches of pouncing on them and having an easy dinner. This was actually her first human incident on record, but it wasn't long until she came across another one. The next day, Leon, a handler at Jurassic World, also fell into the raptor enclosure during the events of the Jurassic World movie. Just like Kenji and Darius, Leon narrowly escaped with his life after Owen Grady jumped in to save him. Owen nurtured these creatures and imprinted on them since their birth, so they always had a little bit of knowledge as to whom was in front of them, causing them to think twice before attacking. After this, the events of the movie are the exact same as to where we see Blue and her sisters attempt to track down the Indominus Rex alongside Owen Grady in the jungles of Isla Nublar. They succeeded in doing so. However, something that the humans didn't anticipate would be the gene splicing of Velociraptor DNA within the Indominus Rex. This then allowed the raptors and the Indominus to communicate amongst each other and turn on the humans.
Something's wrong. They're communicating.
The Indominus took over Owen's place as the alpha of the pack. Blue and her packmates attacked many of the humans that had followed them into the jungle, including that of Barry. Barry took refuge in a hollow log just before Blue lunged at him and began to viciously attack him through it. Conflicted on whether or not he should shoot her, Barry yelled her name, causing her to stop and look inside. At this point, Owen intervened and whistled to get Blue's attention, stopping her from possibly resuming her attack on Barry. She ended up chasing Owen, who drove off on his motorcycle to try and attack him. Soon after, Blue and her sisters caught up to the group that consisted of Owen, Claire, Zach and Gray on Main Street, where it was then revealed that Blue and the rest decided that Owen is their alpha and turned on the Indominus. She was then smacked by the Indominus into the wall and unfortunately fell unconscious. While she was unconscious, her remaining packmates of Delta and Echo sadly died during this fight, with one of them being bitten in half and the other one being cooked to a crisp. Blue later awoke from being unconscious and ran down Main Street in an attempt to support Rexy in taking down the Indominus Rex. Then, we all know what happened after that. After this fight, Blue and Owen go their separate ways, and that is the last we see of her. It's not until 2016 during Camp Cretaceous Season 2 that we next see her. She doesn't have that much of a major role throughout this season, and she's more of a cameo appearance. She's seen roaming about in the underground tunnels at the start of the season, and then later, she is then seen back at her old holding pen, but this time on the outside of it. The only major danger that she was seen in during this season was when Mitch and Tiff had a sniper rifle scoped in on her while she was drinking from the watering hole. They were just about to pull the trigger and kill her if it wasn't for Darius and Brooklyn coming to the rescue. For the months between February and June, we aren't too sure on what she got up to, but we do know that she eventually appeared in Camp Cretaceous Season 3, which takes place in the month of June within the year of 2016. While she originally makes an appearance in this season as a cameo, she later had a more decisive and important role in the show. Blue has now housed her territory within the old abandoned visitor center from Jurassic Park. She ends up killing a Compsognathus before chasing out the campers of Darius, Kenji and Yasmina. Blue almost suffered her fate when a jeep rolled on top of her, forcing her to not be able to move, and ultimately trapping her underneath. A large pack of compies then made their way over, where it seemed as if she could have died a slow and painful death from these creatures. Darius and Kenji recognised her as the raptor they first saw on their first night in Camp Cretaceous back in Camp Cretaceous Season 1, and so they wanted to help her. They scared off the compies and managed to slightly lift and overturn the vehicle, just enough for Blue to get out from underneath. Once free, Blue immediately readies herself to attack again, until Darius takes a stance that is very similar to Owen Grady's. This then caused Blue to recognise his actions to be the same as her former trainers. She briefly views Darius in a similar light and changes her mind about attacking, not before Kenji comedically annoyed her again. After this, we don't really come across Blue in this season until nearer the end. The two hybrid dinosaurs of Dr. Wu's first ever creation, the Scorpius Rex, were lured into battling one another within the Jurassic Park Visitor Center. Blue returned home and trapped the campers in between the Scorpius Rex and herself. She did not know about the presence of the Scorpius Rex at this time. Darius attempts to go and get the dart gun as it was their only means of safety against this hybrid dinosaur. Blue stops him in his tracks as she was aware of what guns can do. Darius, realizing that Blue is there being wary, stands up and holds out his hand, proceeding to show Blue that she can trust him. Blue realizes exactly that and instead attempts to take down the failed hybrid dinosaur in her territory. The battle commences of the two hybrids, and Blue recognizes the danger that the visitor center is about to collapse and makes a very quick escape, leaving the two Scorpius Rexes to be absolutely squished to death by the ceiling. Blue continues to live her life, where her next encounter in Camp Cretaceous takes place within the same week. We now move on to Camp Cretaceous Season 5, where we see Manticorp CEO Daniel Kahn and his son Kenji Kahn make their way back over to Isla Nublar. Not only that, but the CEO of Biosyn, Lewis Dodson, makes his way over there too. He wants to capture a Velociraptor, and the only one available on Isla Nublar was Blue. Kenji then takes Dodson and his father, as well as the mercenaries they were with, to the former territory of Blue. Kenji explains how she is one of the smartest beings on Earth, and that she knows what they're up to. Not given a single care in the world, The mercenaries still track her down and chase her down. Blue then leads them into a Dilophosaurus area, where Dodson finds the Barbasol can from Jurassic Park after all of these years, and also explains why we got to see it in Jurassic World Dominion. However, this very smart move by Blue almost caused Dodson his life, coming face to face with a Dilophosaurus, not once, but twice. She then escapes them and the group lose track of her. She's not to be seen again until 2018 in the Blue VR experience. In 2018, as covered in my previous Rexy story, she's seen in the Jurassic World Blue VR experience, where she comes across a baby Triceratops and a Pteranodon before realising the explosion of Mount Sibo. After this, she comes face to face with a Baryonyx of Isla Nublar, and also then battles Rexy. Whilst Rexy did in fact defeat the Baryonyx, her and Blue simply part ways as they notice Ken Wheatley's team moving in on the island, which then brings us immediately into Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Blue was soon located by Owen as he believes that Wheatley are there to protect the dinosaurs. We all know that the mission then takes a turn to the south and Owen is tranquilized, whilst Blue is shot and almost killed. She battles through her wounds with Zia Rodriguez looking after her on the Arcadia. Blue gets transported to the Lockwood Manor, where she's then let out by Zia and Franklin, and she acquires 2 kills of mercenaries. She is nowhere to be seen after surviving a poisonous explosion, right up until it's her time to shine to take on the fearsome Indoraptor, and protecting an imminent death for Owen. She later ends up killing the Indoraptor in an eventful final battle. Towards the end of the movie, we see that she decides to live out her life without Owen. She's last seen during 2018 in the suburbs of California at the end of the movie, the morning after the breakout. This could possibly be where we see Darius live at the end of Camp Cretaceous Season 5, and if it is, then this means that she travelled south from Lockwood's Manor. Blue's next known appearance was 4 years later, in the year of 2022. During these 4 years, she has nested and resided within the Sierra Nevada mountains, and has been able to reproduce a daughter from asexual reproduction. This is simply due to the black-throated monitor lizard DNA we knew her to have acquired during her creation back in 2012. Although she may have parted ways with Owen in Fallen Kingdom, it seems as if she had some sort of remorse and decided to cautiously follow Owen all of these years, as she suspiciously lives very close to him. Her and Beta were out hunting a rabbit one day when suddenly a pair of hunters tracked her down and almost killed Beta. Luckily for Blue, she located them very quickly and pounced on them, killing both hunters in the process. During her first day of meeting Owen again after all of these years, she unfortunately lost her baby, Beta, after she was kidnapped by Rain Delacourt and his henchmen. Beta was then taken to Malta, where then she was flown over to Italy in the Biosyn Sanctuary. Enraged by her daughter's kidnapping, Blue returns to Owen's home, where he recognises that she could potentially kill them in her agitated mindset. Blue even attacked Owen's outstretched hand, leaving it with a scar. Nonetheless, Owen manages to calm down Blue again and promises his friend that he will be able to bring Blue's daughter back to her before Blue runs off again. Thankfully, Owen was able to keep his promise and capture Beta by the end of the movie, and eventually brought her back to her mother. Blue and Beta then run off into the forest, not before coming back and having one final look at her best friend all of these years. A heartwarming thank you and a goodbye to Owen Grady. She then turns around and runs back into the wilderness, never to be seen again. And there it is, the entire story of Blue the Velociraptor from the years of 2012 to 2022. She's been a lovely character to witness and something extraordinary to have in this Jurassic universe. Her intelligence is simply unmatched by any other species on Earth besides humans, and it is simply remarkable seeing her grow into what we saw in Jurassic World Dominion. A character that personally I didn't care much of, but when thinking about it, she is very important and heartwarming to the overall story of Jurassic World. With more movies confirmed and another animated series currently in planned development for Jurassic, do you think that we'll see her story continue into the future of this incredible franchise? Only time will tell. Talking of time, that's all we have time for in today's video. If you happen to have enjoyed today's video, be sure to press that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and want more Jurassic related content, as this is definitely the best place to be for information, news, lore, games and much more from the Jurassic franchise. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to stay safe out there and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you, did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.